friends, I'm Sarah. Welcome back to my channel, Sunset Bow Tarot. So I wanted to hop on really quick today and do a response to the 50 quick questions tag, which was started by Simon over at Hermit's Cave, and I've seen a couple of other great responses to it. So I just wanted to sort of go through and give my answers. This is supposed to be kind of rapid fire because it is 50 questions, so I'm going to try to go relatively quickly and not talk too much about any individual one of these questions. So let's do it. So first question, have you ever changed clothes while in a vehicle? Yes, absolutely I have. I was in choir and debate when I was in high school, and so there were many instances of changing on the bus. Number two, what do you want to do before you die? I don't have any real grand goals or anything for before I die. I just kind of want to live a happy life. There are places that I want to travel to before I die. Most of my bucket list revolves around travel, but generally speaking, I'm not, there's no like particular mark I want to make on the world. I just want to enjoy my time on earth with people that I love more than anything. So number three, are you single? Yes, I am. Number four, what's one thing you will not eat? So I'm not a super picky eater. I'm willing to try most things, generally speaking, but I think the last time I answered a question like this, I had seen a video where somebody had brought up those like embryonic duck eggs, like partially developed ducklings inside of eggs, and I don't think I could even try one of those. So I'll just stick with that answer. Number five, what color is your underwear? Let's see, this morning, I'm pretty sure I put on my pair that are white with black and gray polka dots. I think those are the ones I'm wearing. Most of my underwear is black, but I have a couple pattern pairs, and I think I put one on one of those today. Number six, when is the last time you went out of England, or in my case, the United States? So the last time I went out of the United States was 2 years ago. I took a trip to Ireland with my best friend from high school, and we spent a week in Ireland together, and it was super, super fun. We toured around kind of the whole country. We had a really, really great time. I learned to drive on the left side of the road. So it was great. It was a great experience. We had a wonderful time. So Ireland was the last time. Number seven, who was your last received call? In all likelihood, it was my mom, because none of my friends call me on the phone. We just text. So the person that I would have probably talked to would be my mom. Have you ever drunk milk straight out of the carton? Yes, absolutely. I live alone, so acting like a total savage is one of the perks of doing that. So number nine, what was your last holiday? By which I'm assuming we mean vacation. So for me, I took a vacation in July. I took a vacation in July in between when my last job ended and I started my new job, but it didn't end up being much of a vacation because I didn't end up going anywhere, and that's a whole story that I told in another video, but that was the last one. Number 10, can you hula hoop? I used to be able to, but I haven't tried in a really long time, so I couldn't say for sure. Number 11, have you ever crawled through a window? Now, here's the thing. I've given this some thought because most people I've seen in answering this question have been like, oh yes, of course I've crawled through a window. But I cannot actually recall a time in my life when I have crawled through a window or when I have needed to crawl through a window. So I don't know if I ever have or not. I mean, it seems like the kind of thing that you do at some point, but I have no recollection of ever doing it. So I don't know. Maybe not, possibly not. Number 12, have you ever skinny dipped? Yes, I have definitely skinny dipped many times. The stupidest skinny dipping experience I ever had was when a bunch of friends and I in college got really drunk and decided to go skinny dipping in a fountain, whereupon we discovered that skinny dipping in a fountain is just a bunch of nude people standing around in knee-deep water. It did not go well. So anyway, so next question. Have you ever sang karaoke? Yes, absolutely. On numerous occasions. Was today better than yesterday? Is number 14. And the answer to that is no, because today is Monday. So it is definitionally worse. Number 15. Is anybody getting on your nerves? Yeah. There's a person getting on my nerves. We'll just leave it at that. Won't get into too many details. Not a lot of people getting on my nerves, but there is a person getting on my nerves. Number 16, do you talk to yourself? Oh my God, I talk to myself all the time. Like, all the time. Like I said, I live alone. I worry sometimes that I'm turning into a complete crazy person because I do talk to myself really frequently. I also talk to my cats all the time and like sing them songs and stuff. Like, I don't know, I have all kinds of like pop songs, you know, sort of changed so that the lyrics are about cats. It's a whole thing. I don't need to get into all of it. Okay, number 17. Would you kiss the last person you kissed again? Yes, I mean, if we're talking about non-romantic kisses, you know, like I've kissed my niece and nephew, so sure, I'd kiss them again, of course. If we're talking about romantic kisses, no. Number 18, how many languages can you speak? Just the one. I have tried to spend some time learning some Spanish. It's gone okay. I have enough Spanish that I can read it relatively well. Like if I'm in a Spanish-speaking country, I can like get around signs and menus and stuff like that, but I can't really speak it. So, you know, so it's really just English that I speak. Number 19, have you ever waxed your eyebrows? I have actually never waxed my eyebrows. I've plucked them a bit, but generally speaking, I have pretty thin eyebrows already, so I've never done too much to them, and nowadays I'm much more likely to be taking an eyebrow pencil to them and trying to make them much, much thicker. So anyway, number 20, what's the last gift you received? Oh, I saw my aunt over the weekend and she brought me a bag of fresh peanut butter cookies that she had just baked. So that is the last gift I received. It was wonderful. She makes the best peanut butter cookies in the world. Number 21, are you mad at anybody? Unless we're speaking about like public figures, political public figures in the United States, nobody except for those kinds of people. I have some of those that I'm deeply infuriated at, but aside from that, no, I'm not really mad at anybody in like my personal life. Did you ever receive detention? No, I have never received detention. I did get sent to the principal's office once when I was in grade school. Let me just say it was totally unjust. And I kind of got in a fight, but I feel like I was on the side of justice. So, number 23, have you ever cried listening to music? Basically daily, I cry listening to music. Number 24, do you use smiley faces on the computer a lot? Yes, I do, absolutely. I use lots of emojis. I G-chat a lot, so I use lots of emojis in G-chat. I use lots of emojis on my phone. Depending on who I'm talking to at work, I might send an email with a smiley face, so yes, absolutely. Number 25, what are you doing tonight? Just like trying to get some stuff done. It's Monday night. I did not have a productive enough weekend for a variety of reasons. I'm going out of town this weekend, so I have to do a bunch of stuff around my house. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing tonight. Number 26, what time is it? It is 11:33 a.m. and yeah, I am actually working right now, but I took a break from work to film this video. So number 27, are you loud? I think I can be, but I think I often feel like I'm louder than I actually am. I tend to be kind of self-conscious about how loud I am, so I don't think, generally speaking, like a really loud person would think I was very loud, but you know, there are occasions when I get kind of wound up or laughing really hard at something where I feel like I'm being loud, but generally speaking, I'm not actually sure that I'm being all that loud in those situations. I just feel like I am. Number 28, what are you looking forward to? Oh, so this weekend I am going out of town. It is one of my friend's 40th birthday. So she and I and another friend of ours are going up to a cabin, in Wisconsin, where we will just be spending the whole weekend, drinking and doing crafts and watching movies and, looking at water. So I'm very much looking forward to that. That's going to be fun. Number 29, do you watch Family Guy regularly? I do not watch Family Guy regularly. I am actually not the world's biggest fan of Family Guy. I think it's because I am a massive, massive fan of The Simpsons, and Family Guy to me has always felt like The Simpsons, except with like the heart and morality removed from it, you know? So I've never actually been like a huge fan of it. So anyway, number 30, have you ever watched a little kids show? I mean, absolutely. When I was a little kid, I watched many little kids shows. But even recently speaking, my niece and nephew are, are young. My niece is 8 and my nephew is 10. So, I've watched little kids shows with them more recently. Their favorite show for a while was the British show called Sarah and Duck, and I love that show. I'm a huge fan of Sarah and Duck. Okay, anyway. What does your last inbox text say? So I think my last inbox text was a text from my sister, because my niece just had a birthday and I crocheted a little purse for her that turned out really cute. And I think it was a text from my sister saying that my niece really liked the purse. And that made me very happy. Number 32 is, are you wearing socks? The answer to that is no. I am actually wearing slippers that look like owls. I am wearing owl slippers, not socks. Number 33, were you born during the last century? So yes, I'm assuming this is saying, were you born during the 20th century, since we are now in the 21st century? And yes, I was born during the 20th century. Number 34, what is your religion? I am really not religious at all. Number 35, what's something you have nightmares about? Julie from Peekaboo Rose, in her answer to this, mentioned a nightmare that's exactly like one that I always have, which is that it's close to graduation and you realize right before graduation that there was a class that you were supposed to go to all semester and you needed it to graduate, and you've just been forgetting to go for the entire semester. And that I have that dream all the time, except in her case, she said her dream was always about a math class, and in my case, it's always a biology class. So anyway, that is a constant nightmare I have. I also weirdly have a lot of nightmares about bears, like bears trying to get in my house. I don't know. It's weird. I guess it's just living where I live. Like, you get kind of nervous about bears sometimes, because it's not unthinkable that you might run into one. So anyway, number 36, have you ever been on a roller coaster? Yes, I have. I actually used to love roller coasters when I was younger. I haven't been to an amusement park in a really long time, so I haven't been on a roller coaster anytime recently, but I have always enjoyed them. Number 37, do you care what others think about you? I mean, yeah. I do care what others think about me. I want other people to think I'm a nice person. I don't want them to think that I'm terrible. And, I generally want people to sort of, when they think Sarah, like, have it be a nice thought that they're having. I try not to, care about it in too much of a pathological way. I think I do have a tendency to potentially care too much what people think about me. So that is something that I try to sort of fight against. But, definitely, I don't think it's possible to not care at least somewhat what other people think about you. Number 38, what do you do all the time in the car? When I'm in the car, I am either listening to music, or I am listening to a podcast, or I'm listening to an audiobook. One of those three things. I am always listening to something in a car. I cannot have a silent car ride. And it tends to be if I'm driving short distances locally, I'll be listening to music. But if I go on any kind of long distance drive, like this weekend when I have to drive up in Wisconsin, I will definitely be listening to either a podcast or an audiobook. I always have podcasts and audiobooks going. So, number 39, do you trust people easily? No. I absolutely do not trust people easily. It takes me a really long time to get to know people, and a long time to get to the point where I feel like I can sort of trust them with intimate details about me. And so, no, I do not consider myself a person who trusts people easily. Number 40, do you watch football? So I'm going to interpret this as being American football, and I don't really. There have been times when I have a little bit because, I've done a fantasy football team at work or something like that, but, and I've gone to some football games, definitely, I've been to some Vikings games and stuff, but I'm not, generally speaking, a huge fan of football. It's not my favorite sport. If I had an option to choose between football and going to another sport like basketball or baseball, or even hockey, I'd rather go to one of those sports than football. It's just, somebody I read once compared American football to a game that she used to play with her little brother, where she would like set up a whole bunch of blocks in a big line, and then he would like run through and knock them all down, and then she'd have to set them back up again, and he would run through and knock them all down, and how it was such a boring game because setting them up took much longer than knocking them down. That's what American football is like. So anyway, number 41. Where was the last place you went shopping? The last place I went shopping was probably just it was the pharmacy. I had to go pick up a prescription, and I bought a couple of other additional things at the pharmacy. So that was the last place I went shopping. Number 42, favorite football team. I mean, again, and I'm interpreting this as American football, and I guess my favorite football team is the Minnesota Vikings, but, I'm not a huge fan. My parents are huge fans of the Vikings, but I can kind of take or leave football. It's just not something that I get super excited about. Do you watch the Olympics? Yes, I do. I'm not a super dedicated Olympics watcher, but there are definitely events of the Olympics that I really enjoy, and I do always try to watch when the Olympics are on. Last bar you went to. I think the last bar I went to, it would have been something local. We have this burger place in the town where I live that has like a little speakeasy in the back of it where you have to like go through a curtain and everything. I'm pretty sure that's the last one I went to. Do you have a favorite number? I have a fair number. I have like some favorite numbers. I really like the number 3. I really like the number 7. I like the number 12. There's a variety of different numbers that I like. Number 46, are you multitasking right now? Well, officially, I should probably be getting back to work in a minute or two here, so sort of, kind of, but generally speaking, no, I'm a very, very bad multitasker. Like, I have a very hard time focusing on more than one thing, and so I try not to multitask because it just really does not work very well for me. Number 47, do you believe in love at first sight? I do not believe in love at first sight. I don't believe it's possible to fall in love with somebody unless you know them as a person. And for me, even like, I don't really tend to even fall in lust at first sight. Like that, I have a very hard time being attracted to a person unless I know what their personality is. So definitely I don't believe in love at first sight at all. Number 48, do you believe in karma? Yes, karma I believe in. If you do bad stuff as a person, it's going to come back and bite you in the ass. And that's just the reality of the situation. And that is 100% something that I believe in. Number 49, how is the weather today? It's kind of gray and rainy today. I don't think it's actually chilly outside. It was a bit chilly over the weekend, but I think today is warmer, but it is kind of dreary a bit. So it's like getting to be fall, and it's a fall day. Number 50, what is the stupidest thing you ever did with your cell phone? Now, this question is the reason why I wanted to do this tag, because the stupidest thing that I ever did with my cell phone is one of my favorite stories, and it is that actually 3 years ago, almost to the day, I had gone on a trip to London, actually, and my mom and I had gone. I have a cousin who lives just outside of London, and so we'd gone to stay with her, and so I was in London for a week, and we went to Hampton Court Palace because, we were doing tourist stuff, and so decided we wanted to go to Hampton Court Palace, so we took the train out there, and I loved Hampton Court Palace. It was super fun. This was one of the things that we were doing kind of later on the trip, so, I was really, really excited about it, and, just really loved Hampton Court Palace. And then, while I was at Hampton Court Palace, I dropped my phone in the toilet. And it destroyed my phone. And I lost all the pictures from our trip that were on my phone. And to this day, I'm so mad about it. But like, how ridiculous is that? I destroyed my phone in a toilet at Hampton Court Palace. Like, ridiculous. I still can't believe I did that. And as a result, I lost a whole bunch of pictures of my trip to London, which I guess just means that I'm just gonna have to go back at some point, which I was planning on doing anyway because I loved it there and it's one of my favorite cities I've ever been to. So I'll just have to go back and take some more pictures. But anyway, yes, that is the dumbest thing I've ever done with my phone. So anyway, that was the 50 quick questions. So this was a lot of fun to do. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I would love to see other people do responses to this if you get a chance. I will paste the questions down below into the box below the video. And yeah, thanks so much. Have a great one. Bye-bye.